Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. And we have Sean Lake of BUBS Naturals with us. And today we're talking about how to get yourself a tune-up. We're also talking about the best thing for your coffee if you can't drink it black. I know I get all kinds of people constantly saying to me, I can't drink black coffee. I've tried, it's disgusting. And we're going to talk about that today. So Sean, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So I want to start by asking you, where did the BUBS Naturals come from? Like, it's not in your name. Like, where did BUBS come from?
That's a great question. So, and it's funny because like the name BUBS, like this, kind of funny name that you wouldn't think of necessarily on a nutrition brand. And it all really happened in this kind of confluence of different events. So my best friend growing up, in a little suburb in Massachusetts was a guy named Glenn Bub Doherty. So Glenn and I were thick as thieves in middle school and high school. We both took off to college. We dropped out of college to move to the mountains of Utah, much to the dismay of our parents, I might add, to drop out of college and chase a dream of becoming professional athletes. Like I wanted to be a pro snowboarder. Glenn wanted to be a pro skier. And next thing you know, Glenn's like, I'm going to join the Navy and become a Navy SEAL. Now, ski bums to Navy SEAL is a pretty big transition. Most people don't do that sort of thing. But that's exactly what Glenn did because he was that type of guy. He set his mind to a goal and he just did it. So Glenn now becomes a Navy SEAL, serves 10 years in the military. He's my best buddy. We both live now in San Diego, so we see a lot of each other. And Glenn then, kind of enters this next stage in his life. And that's transitioning out of active duty military and becoming a government contractor. So as a government contractor, he's put in really dangerous situations. And one of those was getting stationed for security for the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, to provide security in Tripoli. So you might remember the terrorist attacks of Benghazi in Libya. And there was that movie 13 Hours that came out. That was my roommate and my best friend, who was one of the 4 Americans that was killed over there. So, Hillary Clinton got in a whole bunch of trouble. There was congressional hearings and all sorts of stuff that happened. And that was my best friend. So Glenn's call sign in the Navy was Bub. And when the idea came to launch a brand, a nutrition brand, we were talking about the impact that Glenn had on my life and hundreds of other people's lives, this larger than life personality who was a national hero and a best friend to all these people. And when I discovered the benefits of collagen, I thought almost immediately, like, wow, this is exactly the kind of stuff that Glenn would have taken when he was alive and with us. So when we said, hey, let's start a company, my business partner and I sat down to have that talk. We said, well, what would a company look like? Like, what would we do? There's already 100 collagen brands out there. Like, how are we going to be different and better? And we both looked at each other and said, well, whatever we do, we have to do something cool for charity. And that was it. I was like, well, I know the charity. It's got to be the Glenn Doherty Memorial Foundation. And Glenn's call sign in the Navy was Bub. So we'll name the company BUBS Naturals as a tribute to Glenn and his way of life. This guy that stood for self-improvement, and he was always helping others. So self-improvement, MCT oil, collagen, things that just improve the self. And we'll give 10% of all profits to charitable causes in Glenn's name. Man, it feels really good. And let's go see if anyone cares. Let's go test this little idea out there. So yeah, 4.5 years ago, we launched into those products that you're aware of, the collagen, the MCT, and we said let's go improve people's lives. And then let's improve other people's lives with charitable giving and see if this doesn't take to kind of celebrate who Glenn was and who Bub was and bring it out to the world.
Hey guys, I wanted to share with you a quick bedside routine that I'm using at the moment. And I have a question for you, but listen to the end because we're going to give away some free gifts and some special offers. So, if I was going to ask you what the number one health problem from all over the world, what would you say it is? Well, if you guessed sleep, you'd be right. Did you know that people are complaining all the time about lack of energy? And that's the symptom. But guess what? What is the root problem? The root problem is they're not getting enough sleep. And if you're not getting enough sleep, that's going to affect your mood, your hormones, weight gain, and so many other things. So some people, not me, I hit the pillow and I'm like, boom, I'm going to sleep immediately. But I do have friends that say, they just stare at their ceiling. They're awake for hours and hours looking at their phone. But maybe you're like, yes, I am getting sleep. But then when you wake up, you are literally exhausted. Well, here's what I want to suggest. I do this every night. Take a glass of water and take 2 natural magnesium breakthrough capsules 30 minutes before bed. This is what I love. It has 7 essential forms of magnesium, and that is the key difference. Like everyone I know is in love with this product. So just so you know, they're giving away all these bonus gifts for the next 1,000 customers, and it's really, really awesome. They're doing like mast enzymes, their enzymes, their probiotic, and so you're going to get to try a ton of free products. So right now, go to magbreakthrough.com/wasteaway, and you are going to get a ton of free things if you're one of the first 1,000 people. So go on there now. Don't forget to do magbreakthrough.com/wasteaway. Get the free gifts, and it's going to be amazing. I know you're going to love it. I love that. Well, let's talk first about what is collagen. Why is it important, and what causes collagen loss?
So, great question. I like to call collagen your favorite cow powder because there's really no easy way of describing collagen other than talking about its source. So normally collagen is sourced from animal. When I say normally, I mean like if collagen is going to be effective, it's coming from various animals, but predominantly it's bovine, cow, or marine, fish. And fish has some issues with flavor, some with solubility. It's really expensive, but for folks that have diet restrictions, marine sourced collagen can be a good source of getting collagen. Bovine hide is the premium best way to get types 1 and types 3 collagen, predominantly type 1. What does that mean? Well, that's connective tissue. So when you take it from the hide of a cow, we're talking about the inner part of the hide. So not what's going to be part of leather in shoes or handbags or stuff like that. We're talking about the kind of inner fascia that's just thrown away normally. That is actually incredibly rich in key amino acids. So the amino acids that are in your proteins are really loaded up in this inner hide area. So instead of throwing them into a landfill, you can use those hides, kind of dip them into this enzyme bath, lift up those amino acids, and the benefits of those amino acids are phenomenal for hair, skin, and nails, all of your connective tissue health, bone density, joint repair. So think cushioning in your joints, and gut health. So all of this connective tissue is all benefited from supplementing with collagen. Well, why do you need to do that? When you're in your early mid-20s, your body is producing tons and tons of collagen. Like you are naturally producing it. And remember, collagen is the most abundant protein in the human body. Your muscles, your hair, your skin, your nails, your joints, your guts, like that's a lot of your whole body. But your body stops making it. You turn into 25 or so, and all of a sudden, your body's not doing it as much. Now, you don't notice until maybe you're 30, 35, certainly when you're turning 40. And you notice it by little wrinkles, or maybe your hair isn't as full, or your fingernails aren't growing quite as robustly as they used to. And remember, this is happening over years, but every year you're making a little less collagen. So you need to supplement with collagen because you're not getting it naturally in your diet. But by exogenously taking it, by bringing it into your body endogenously on the inside triggers that further collagen production. So by supplementing with a good, clean collagen source, your fingernails are growing like crazy again. You need a haircut better. All of a sudden, your joints, your achy, stiff joints, at my age, they're a little bit more lubricated, which means you're going to bend a little bit better. You're going to have a little bit more cushioning. And it's phenomenal. So I discovered collagen when I was 45 years old. I was big into CrossFit and running and surfing and mountain biking. And I was really feeling pretty broken. And my wife bought me a jar of collagen one day off of Amazon and said, this is supposed to help heal you. You're not getting any younger. And after 2 months of taking collagen every day religiously in my diet, it was the only thing I added in. I woke up one morning, and it took months to build up, but I remember waking up one morning and jumping out of bed and feeling awesome. And I was like, all right, I don't know what's in this stuff, but I'm in for life. Like, I am totally sold on how well this works. So you need it. If you're not a teenager, it's time to think about playing that long game in life. This is about wellness and longevity.
So my husband's best friend, his name is Jazz, and he actually has a bunny as a pet, and Bubs is his name. And so I do love your name because I love that little bunny he has. But I want you to talk about, like I said, I'm not joking when I tell you we get an email in our Facebook group. If you guys haven't joined our Facebook group, go to Intermittent Fasting and OMAD Facebook group. You'll find it. But it's just crazy how many people say, I can't give up my coffee. I can't drink it black. What is the next best thing? I'm trying not to have dairy. And so I want you to talk a little bit about your MCT oil powder and really talk about the calories and the fat, because one thing I've noticed, not in yours, but in other products, it's unbelievable. But I've seen some different MCT oils that have anywhere from 20 to 30 grams of fat and 220 to 280 calories for, that fat bomb or the MCT bomb or whatever they call it, to put in their coffee. So talk about your MCT oil powder for just a second.
Yeah. So kind of on that whole idea of removing dairy from your coffee. And if you're big on intermittent fasting, there's a lot of different schools of thought on how strict to go. Like, I know folks that are on water only, and they're very hard to be around until they've had a meal. I'm kidding about that. But what I do like about an MCT oil powder, and the reason we went to market the way we did, was we said, hey, we love the idea of this healthy fat alternative in coffee. And it's really geared around that ritual. The morning coffee is part of my everyday. And it used to be half and half. It used to be maybe throw a pat of butter in there, but that never really tasted right. I tried a lot of tinkering, whole milk, then heavy cream. Like I've kind of run the gambit. And I'm not dairy averse or anything, but what I learned was, if I could add MCT in and not have my coffee taste like an oil slick, I'm really into the benefits. The medium chain triglyceride, that coconut oil broken into a medium chain triglyceride, the MCT, really works for my energy. I have energy through the whole day. I don't drink coffee after first thing in the morning. I don't need it. There's no afternoon pick me up, and you don't need a lot. So that's where I think a lot of companies get fired up, is they're like, we can put 20 grams of oil, 30 grams of oil. Well, think of how big of a serving of oil or fat that can be. That's a ton. Like, it's more than you need. So what we found is that if you take 5 grams of oil, right, that's a little bit, it works. You get the energy and the mental focus. And if you spray it into tapioca starch, right, which is cassava root, it's got a really low carb count. There's sugar count. All that stuff's like basically non-existent. It's a really sad little root vegetable that is a really good sponge, but it's very creamy in appearance. So I'm kind of visually giving myself something appealing, like my coffee looks creamy. It's a very full mouthfeel with the oil, and it's effective. You just don't need very much in there, because MCT oil on tapioca starch. And we're the only company I know that does that. Is just super clean in appearance and has a really neat flavor profile to it. Because it's very mild, but your coffee, you sort of get those flavor notes out of your coffee. So for folks that can't give up their dairy or are struggling with a way to, try our MCT oil powder, put a scoop in there, mix it up with a milk frother, and you're in business. I mean, I'd be surprised if you didn't feel the benefits, and you don't need that much of it. And quite frankly, I think MCT is a slippery slope, but you'll know when you've gone too far.
I want to tell you guys about a new find that I found, and it is really amazing. It's called Newtopia. We actually, if you go to our Facebook page right now, we're giving away a bunch of different free products on it. You guys have heard all about these different superpowers of mushroom extracts and collagen. And so this product has all of it. This magic in a jar is called Collagen. It's kind of a funny name because it's like Collagen, but it is genius. It's delicious, it's effective, and you simply add it to your coffee or you mix it with water. So the biggest thing that I like is that it'll refuel your brain without giving you jitters or crashes. So if you struggle with brain fog, have difficulty focusing, you might want to try it. It was just launched. Like, this is literally just brand new, hit the market. But go to newtopia.com/wasteawaygenius and use wasteaway10 during the checkout and you'll save 10%. Let's talk about energy drinks for a second. One of my good friends and I were talking about energy drinks, and we were joking with each other. I said, I'm going to literally create my own energy drink, because these energy drinks are like if you go to the store, even Whole Foods, where it's like $3.50 or $3.99 for one drink, I'm thinking there's no way. Like, these people are crushing it. And every time I turn around, I'm like, this guy's drinking energy drinks, energy drink, energy drink. And I have been looking at some of the chemicals in here, and I'm like, this is straight poison. Like, this is so bad. What is your opinion on most of these energy drinks out there?
So one, I don't touch them. And I really never have. I mean, I remember being in my 20s when Red Bull was like just coming into the US. And I remember like going out with some friends and we were just drank our faces off with Red Bull vodkas. And I was like detonated from that. And I'm like, okay, one, don't need to drink that much vodka, but two, don't need to drink that stuff at all. Like, what it did to my body in my 20s, I was like horrified by. So the idea that it's patternized, whether it's, the Red Bulls, the Monsters, you name it, there's a gazillion brands out there. It's gross because you're pouring sugar into your body. You're pouring caffeine in, which caffeine is fine, but you're layering it with all this extra crap, and it is not derived from nature. I'm not a fan. And I don't care how clean you try and get with your rock star logoing, like you're not fooling me. So how can you get a natural energy source? Because sugar is an addictive substance and you become dependent on it. And if your body is not burning fat for energy, it's going to start leaning around when you give them that little sugar hit. And those are those peaks and valleys, those crashes, which then you grab another drink to try and get back up to that productive level. And the fact is, and you know this, if you're on a better balanced diet with strong, healthy fats, you're never depleting down. You're not crashing. You're holding that energy across your whole day. So, when I got on an MCT program, I never felt myself needing that, like, oh, I'm crashing out. I need more. Give me more. And, I would say to anyone, like, look at sugar. Sugar's fun once in a while. Like, everyone likes to have a good dessert. I'm certainly not the dessert police, but the dependency of needing energy in the middle of the day is something that you can avoid by making just good structured dietary decisions. Like, I'm going to drink a cup of coffee and I'm going to consciously put a good, healthy fat source into it. And I will bet any one of your listeners that MCT source will remove the need for that energy drink, because that's just a bunch of marketing crap. Pardon my French.
It's funny. Well, this has been great. Tell listeners where they can find you and where they can follow you.
Yeah. So social media handles at BUBS Naturals. So that's BUBS Naturals. And then, that's for Facebook, Instagram, all the social stuff. And then our website is just bubsnaturals.com. If you're an Amazon fan, you can find us there with the Amazon Prime and Amazon's Choice and all that fun stuff. But yeah, come by and, try our MCT in the morning while you're in intermittent fasting and you're enjoying that cup of coffee. Throw a little healthy fat in there, and I'll bet you are going to be playing through all day.
Love it. Well, you guys stay tuned. We've got another episode coming up in just a few. Bye-bye for now.